So, something I noticed while prepping just a few seconds ago is that apparently the internal timers for StreamYard and YouTube itself are out of sync because I was in the chat, posting my message a second ago to you guys in the chat. Hey, everybody. So glad you're here, of course, as always. Um, posting my little reference, really twisted corn reference if you actually know the whole y'all want a single thing. Yeah, point is, I noticed that YouTube is like waiting on Kurisu Yamato, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me go get ready. And then Restream was still like, you got 20 seconds. So I'm thinking to myself, huh, these timers are out of sync. That's amusing. On one hand, it kind of doesn't surprise me, but on another hand, you think Restream would just use an internal timer matched to YouTube? I don't know. This is just me being a nerd. I literally spent the hour before the stream. I almost forgot to come to it. Um, Tweaking things on the BBS server. Um, but yeah, I don't think we need much preamble. We've already got a little audience here. Again, welcome everyone. We're of course going to be looking at Ken Hovind's Whackin' Atheist from Wednesday, where he that was only yesterday. It's still Thursday. Anyway, where he decides to go after Seth Andrews, the person behind the Thinking Atheist brand, which is what I'm going to call it in the same way I'm the guy behind the Zadara brand. I'm not Zadara. He's not the thinking atheist. The thinking atheist is an idea, and I'm going to mention that again later on. So, spoiler alert, that's something I'm going to stress. Um, Big fan of Seth Andrews, of course. Love the man's work. Love his announcing style, his narration. He's actually a bit of an inspiration for me. Not that I'm anywhere close to his level, far from it, but to know, to study his radio personality, his radio voice, amongst the others that I have studied. I've never been professionally trained, and this is one of the few chances where or times where I actually talk kind of somewhat highly of myself. Y'all pick up that I still have my own cadences, my own quirks, but I try to have somewhat of a radio voice, even if I let it break at a point. And my own voice is kind of whatever, but actually, it's funny, numerous times, especially on the phone, I've been complimented on my voice, and I'm like, please, I'm obnoxious. I was obnoxious to some people, but damn, that can be pretty annoying. But yeah. Anyway, enough preamble. We're here at 3 minutes. Let me go on and press the magic buttons in Restream that do the things that they do, or as we'd say in Memphis, make it do what it do. Um. So yeah, Whackin' Atheist Seth Andrews. I did want to point out just this amused me a bit. Down here in the comments, you get some random emoji. Then you get from Living Proof. I haven't been around the last couple of weeks. What happened to your YouTube channel? An official people comment. YouTube took us down again, but we are on many channels listed on www.drdino.com. And then Kieran Manlaus 433, I don't know. It was taken down again for unknown reasons. The atheists complain about everything. You're missing a period in there, buddy. And yes, it was atheists complaining. It wasn't, bringing attention a violation of terms of service to YouTube's policies. It's always just got to be complaining from a guy who spends every single stream complaining. I mean, think about it. That's all Kent Hovind actually does, nonstop. Is just complain, complain, complain. That's all there is to his shtick. So yeah, and of course, for those of you out there who are like, "Oh no, Chris is doing another Kent Hovind video." Well, one, not that too many people commented on it. I think I only really got the one from Tubian. So shout out to Tubian. I was like, yeah, y'all want some gaming stuff tonight? Feeling like something a little different. I mean, I'll do Hovind. I planned on it, but I was gonna do both. And he's just like, honestly, I prefer your Hovind content, or something to that effect. It didn't sound like that. It's just he was saying he likes the Hovind stuff. Looks forward to it. So I'm like, okay, shit. I'll just I'll skip the gaming stuff, play a little Guild Wars on my own. my own time, and hit this. Um, but some people seem to get annoyed by the fact that I do this. I'm not going to name any names. They're not important. But as a matter of course, because everything I do is some sort of matter of course, I feel I have to address certain things. I just remind, and I know y'all know this, that this is entertainment. I'm providing, it's basic capitalism at its finest. There is a demand for content of people ripping into Kent Hovind. I supply that content. People additionally like me as an individual, my style, my quirks, and I have a little group of awesome people, everyone watching this, for example, who enjoy me and what I do. If people didn't want to see Ken Hovind get ripped a new asshole, there wouldn't be content being made that way. And you'd think people who love capitalism so much and, all the typical garbage that comes with that ilk of thinking, um, they would get this. So it's funny that I, the socialist nut job, have to explain to other people who like Kent and who like the typical right wing points here and there just what's going on. It goes back to that thing where I know more about the things I hate than the people who like those things do. Weird phenomena, but again, I intended not to have a bunch of preamble, and we're already 7 fucking minutes in. Okay, let's get to this shit. Dino lamp is not on. I'm disappointed. Would someone please go save the dino lamp and turn it back on? Maybe they couldn't buy new batteries for it? Oh no.
Well, good evening, folks. Kent Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in lovely Lenox, Alabama. Got a lot done today. Busy day today. It is March the 5th, 2025. Tonight, whacking atheist Seth Andrews, the non-thinking atheist. We'll get to him in just a minute. We're on a bunch of...
I'm Ken Hovind, and I can't be nice about anybody ever. And also, I don't understand Seth Andrews' thinking atheist concept. As I mentioned in the preamble, the thinking atheist is a concept to all of us. It's an idea surrounding us and our critical thinking capabilities. Seth Andrews is not the thinking atheist. And Rosina299, please do the needful and start the video. Kent just yells about science in this one. I figured as much. Doesn't really do any whacking of Seth Andrews. Seth's literally the nicest guy in the atheist experience. Yep. Let's keep going, though.
channels, Rumble, getting all kinds of comments, Twitter, X, whatever that is, Brighton, plus our app, Kent Hovind TV.
Again, I'd expect you to be literate, Kent. And I will bring this up constantly. It's Brighteon. There's an E in there. Not Brighton like a town.
You get it by poke on one of these buttons, something will happen. Okay, so caution. All you liberals, demo rats,
here we go. He's going to bring up the same, right-wing boomer crap.
Kamala Harris voters, do not watch this video. This will upset you, okay? Just shut it off right now. Warning.
No, Kent, it won't upset me. It will give me content to make my friends here laugh.
You'll be upset, okay? So, I'm not sorry if my patriotism offends you because your lack of spine offends me.
I'm not going to devote what little musical talent I have to a Hovind song. I'm not going to do that. That reminds me, I need to get in some guitar practice tonight or tomorrow.
Me. If I offend you, cry me a river. I'll bring snacks and a raft, and then I'll literally float down the river on your tears, eating chips and working on my tan. See, I would like to apologize to anyone I have not yet offended. Please be patient. I will get to you shortly. If I offended you, I'm really sorry. I will tone it down. Number 1 and 2 are lies. I don't care. There you go. Okay. I'm sorry if I offended you with my common sense. We got some common sense for you tonight. Seth Andrews. I don't remember if I debated him or not. Did I debate?
Can't you think you debated everybody? There was something I was going to say a second ago, but I done forgot. What was it? It made me think. Oh, just... I lost my own damn train of thought right there. I hate when this happens. Um, I don't know. It had something to do with the fact that Kent decides this is the way to open things, to be this childish, is tactful, is pleasing, is funny. You know, we always point this stuff out, me, Claude, AJ, etc. But people don't seem to pick up on where the issue is. Oh, Ken Hovind's a preacher. He's just an old man, and you're picking on him. It's like, look at what he does. If he had any kind of class about him, any kind of respectable behaviors, any kind of decency, he wouldn't make himself the target of these kinds of things. He wouldn't do that stuff to a point where we'd have something to criticize, you know, beyond all the other stuff. You know, again, I'm ignoring his criminal history, his enabling of criminals, etc. for that. But let's keep going.
Debate you, Seth? Let me know. I know I've whacked him, I think, before, and I'd be glad to debate you. You guys believe the mechanical hand had to be designed. You know it was. But you don't think the real hand was, which is a trillion times more complex and heals itself.
How do you quantify complexity, Kent? These numbers he just pulls right out of his ass. It's a trillion times more. Is it, Kent? Is it? Define complexity. Explain in detail why things are complicated. And then let me remind you of a concept of emergent complexity where these complex things. Yeah, I cannot speak. Complex things, complex concepts, complex patterns emerge from something simple. And to a degree, repetition of parts, repetition of individual elements doesn't make something as complex as you want to think it is, unless every single component was specialized. Because he'd argue, oh, the cells, every one of those cells, you know, more complex than a space shuttle, and you got like millions and billions of them in your hand, and it's like, yeah, but most of them are the same. You got to look at the broad structures. You can't just, you know, nitpick these things down that level, because you know, you can argue they're both equally complex because they're both made of, you know, an equivalent number of atoms more than likely. And in fact, the metal one's going to have heavier elements. Ergo, it's more complex. Spent way too much time on that. I think that's the way this stream is going to be, is me spending a whole lot of time on all the little bullshit. So get prepared for a long one. We're going to have fun here.
The mechanical ones do not heal themselves. Okay, let's see. We are an old-fashioned, independent, temperamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist church in Lenox, Alabama. We believe the Bible is true from cover to cover and scientifically accurate. Okay, let's see. I want to get the lies out.
John Anderson with a $1 super chat. Nothing added to it though, so I mean, you know, I'll be on the lookout for whatever message you've got following. Just let me know.
Out of the textbooks, okay? I want to help. You guys get a hold of President Trump or his team and tell him to watch our open letter to President Trump on February 1st on these channels, okay? If you haven't seen that, please go back and watch that. February 1st, open letter to Donald Trump, okay? We got a bunch of books we sell.
Ah, look, we got the first of our same old fucktards. Yeah, the only person with a hyperfixation here is Kent. I'm providing entertainment, dumbass. Get out of here.
On the public school system, we would like to help. All kinds of stuff. We're on your side. We want to help. My mother retired from teaching public school. My brother retired from teaching public school. We're here to help. There's some problems and we think we can fix it. You can help our ministry stay open for free. Go to 777 Club. Join our 777.
Yay, he paused. The audio is still going, but the Hovind, he is not moving.
77 Club on drdino.com.
Oh yeah, sometimes Rumble doesn't actually play the video properly. I don't know what it is, if it's just something with my instance of Chrome in my system or what. But no, as we see it going back from a pixelated mess, that was just a straight up freeze in the video.
If you want to help us stay open, say, I like what you're doing, call Bobby, Dr. Dino Secretary at gmail.com with any questions about that. There it is, website, drdino.com, D-R-D-I-N-O. 8.9 years now we've been open because people support us. Okay, tonight, Whack an Atheist Wednesday. Hello.
Yeah, John, I'll continue with this, and it's at this point, it's a matter of just getting a chance to hang out. There's nothing new to be said about Hovind. There's never anything new. But watching the slow descent into madness that he's had as he slowly realizes he's a complete sham of whatever he thought he used to be, it is amusing. But I find much more fun in the fact that I'm providing entertainment to people. Right now, 30 watching. So yeah. And our friend Kim Jong-un, Mark, 3 good old Great British Pound. Oh, Big Jug knew we are the people, no surrender. uh, y'all are great.
Along with that, 4 minutes. Whack-A Atheist Wednesday is a fun game we play here at Dinosaur Adventureland. It's based on the Whack-A
Well, we didn't get pixelated subscribe button, but we sure as hell got pixelated Hovind.
Mole game, okay? Oh, I forgot. Creepy Blind Man I did last Wednesday. Somebody about to debate any of you guys anytime. I'm not.
Kent, it was like 2 Wednesdays ago. Because you had Skeletor's aborted clone hanging out with you. And the volleyball dude last week complaining about the school system for 3 fucking days. You know, all that complaining that you never do. Yeah.
Not afraid of any of you, okay? Whack-A.
Yeah, that's why you're getting so many debates, Kent. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Debate me, bro. Debate me. Unless you're Iron Raw. I won't do anything, and I'll just let it hang forever. But please call and debate me. I'm lonely. I don't get any debates anymore.
Mole game. Wait till the mole sticks his head up and whack him back down. Fast, it's fun, it's furious, it's funny. The mole sticks his head up. See how fast you can whack him back down. Children love to play it. Adults love it. I enjoy it. So whack-a-mole. We wait for an atheist to stick their head up and say something dumb about their stupid evolution religion, and we whack them back down with real science. In Christian love, of course. Many of
Yes, Christian love, the kinds of crap you say is really loving. Also, say it with me, everybody. Accepting a scientific model on the diversity of life on this planet is in no way, shape, or form a religion. You have an extremely loose definition of what a religion is, and the only reason you say that is to create false equivalence. You know that, I know that, my audience knows that, your idiot followers don't know that, because it requires a little bit higher order thinking skills than, well, what you cater to.
have learned to keep their heads down. They don't want to get whacked anymore. Pick a new topic like flat earthers, guys. Come on. Okay. So many atheists, so little time. Tonight, the winner is Seth Andrews, the Thinking Atheist. There's his thinkingatheist.com. He says, assume nothing, question everything, and start thinking. That's what I would like you guys to do. You don't do that. You.
This deserves a quote on the stream. Dr. Divorce-a-lot, the Knight of the Sorrowful Neck, from the ever sharp as a tack soot kettle.
Claim that you do. You don't. What do you mean question everything? Are you allowed to question evolution? Are you allowed to even question that? Oh, no, that's a proven fact. See, it's off limits, isn't it? You can't question that, can you? Are you allowed to question the...
You know, Kent, one could, but you're not going to get very far given that evolution is the most substantiated concept, theory as in working model, in all of science. You're conflating the fact that it's so well proven that there's no reason to go and argue against it unless you really got something good to bring, versus you can't. The reason anyone arguing against this stuff is just hand waved away, their papers aren't published, no one takes them seriously, is because they're always full of shit when they publish. That's kind of how it works, Kent. At a point, you can just straight up disregard stuff at face value, especially when it's clearly lies, misinterpretations, various falsehoods, as creationism always is. But again, you cry conspiracy because that's all you can do.
These dumb family trees that everything's related, came from an amoeba. Oh, no, you can't question that. What do you mean? You don't question everything. You guys are hypocrites, okay? Start thinking. Yes, I wish you would, okay? The thinking atheist isn't a person. I agree. None of you atheists are thinking, okay? I'll take you all out. An idea.
And yes, this, as Deviant's pointing up, Kent dreaming of wanking more well-known characters on the internet's atheosphere, truly a sign of desperation. Poor Kent, he's feeling as irrelevant as he is. Let me again remind those out there who don't seem to comprehend why this is done. I've already expressed that this provides entertainment for people who wish to seek this kind of content. But additionally, it's a counterpoint to Kent's obsession with, for some reason, deciding to devote Wednesdays to, instead of a sermon, to whacking atheists and just getting a chance to go through his spiel again and again and again and again. To no real value to anybody, except those deranged enough to follow this lunatic. But you know, when we have some fun, it's a problem. When he gets seriously upset at reality, it's cool though. Just, it's more reversal of everything. And of course, I know going into this today, the troll side would come out of the woodwork, just wanting to be the gnats they are. It's cute that you think you're actually important. It's really cute. Don't you have anything else to be doing right now? Yeah, but Chris, can you be doing something? Yeah, I could. But again, I'm providing entertainment. It's what I do. It's what my whole thing's about. Creating things for other people to enjoy, whatever they may be. Let's focus back on Kent.
An encouragement to reject faith. You have enormous faith. You have faith that the universe could have been going for billions of years. We know it cannot. Everything's winding down. You have faith that life got started from a non-living.
Chicken eating's just a southern thing. He just has to work it in there because it's all country. Them good old country boys, the real Americans, the descendants of them people that rebelled against the United States, and those people who don't like people of other skin types and other ethnicities, and don't want them women folk to have any rights, and those who stormed the Capitol carrying the Georgia flag, but they're so fucking stupid they don't even know their own state flag, so they got the one for the goddamn country of Georgia because they're fucking morons. Yep, them people. Them's the real Americans.
Non-living material. That's not science. You have faith that that first living organism was able to reproduce something other than its kind and turn into everything we see today. You have great faith, way greater faith than I have. You embrace reason. No, you don't. You wouldn't have a clue what reason is. It's not reasonable to think you're related to a strawberry, Dave. Okay? And evidence.
Kent, did you bring up Dave just tangentially? Or did you for a moment think you were doing a video on Professor Dave? Because I legitimately can't tell which it would be, given your slips into inevitable dementia. Also, again, in either one of those cases, him bringing up Dave out of nowhere, but we're the ones obsessed. Just don't get it.
Approach humanity's challenges and opportunities. Let's see. A personal relationship with reality. Right. You wouldn't know it if it struck you in the face. Okay? Reality is cows produce cows.
Talk about yourself, Kent. The amount of everyday reality denial going on inside of that little pea brain of yours. Staggering. And the fact that somehow it hasn't caught up with you. That snake bite didn't do what it should have done. That you actually went and got an antivenom for it. Medical science based on the principles of evolution, Kent. It was convenient then. But, you know, all the other stuff you and especially Mary Toko rally against. I don't know. Just seems funny. Remind me, Kent, you never contracted polio, did you? It's probably a good reason for that. Very good reason. Nice innovation that came around late 50s, early 60s. Forget exactly when, but polio stopped being a big issue come the early 60s because of um, well, I'm trying to be good here, and I'm not even going to say the V word. Pretty sure you've got the telltale mark of it, though. But let's continue.
Dogs produce dogs. Nothing else. Nothing else. Believe whatever you want, but it's not science, okay? Anyway, here's a rally coming up. Hey, Seth, I'll come to your free thought conference and debate all of you at the same time. How's that for a challenge? If you know anybody that's involved in this atheist movement, contact them, say Kent Hovind is challenging you for a debate. When they refuse, and they will, call Joseph, 855 Big Dino, extension.
Kent, much like so many people out there, you're not worth engaging with to that degree. You're fun for a laugh. You're a lolcow. But that's it. You There wasn't value in debating you back when actual, you know, college professors and major scientists would. But it was a novel thing back then and was kind of a thing that went on. But the scientific community has realized that the best thing to do with creationists and science denying lunatics is to just ignore them, call them out on their bullshit once, and then move on. But for you as a lolcow, oh, we're going to milk it as far as we can.
Extension 4 and say, hey, so-and-so refused to debate. We'll add them to the list of those who are too cowardly to defend their religion against lowly high school science teacher with non-accredited degrees. Yeah, okay. Free thought conference. Let's see. I'll defend the position that evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religious cult in the history of the world. Prove me wrong with your reality. I'll do it right in front of your conference, Seth. All the atheists against me. Fair enough? Feel like David and Goliath, okay? Look at, they got Aaron Nelson up there in the first row there. Needs a haircut. If any of you listeners,
Everyone sees this comment from Allie. If anyone can link me to details on that, here or later in Discord, what have you, I'd be interested just to check that out because that story would make complete and total sense. That would explain his lack of acceptance of inoculations. No cure for what Kent has? Nope.
in listeners live, should be live, I was in a hurry, okay? You live in places that they're holding these rallies.
Yeah, Kent, you were really in a hurry. You could take more time with these things if you cared so much about this subject like you do. But then again, my live stream yesterday, I had a big typo right at the front and right at the beginning top, first word. Nobody called me out on it because I suck at spelling sometimes. I just suck at typing sometimes. It really sucks when I'm using a typewriter because you can't erase those mistakes. Not easily. So I got to be diligent. Also, if you look in the picture, you can see Matt Dillahunty right there. You see Aaron Ra right there, and a whole lot of other faces I don't recognize, but there is nothing wrong with that because these are all other kinds of likely amazing peoples. But it's funny that, Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Ra just straight stand out. Also, I may not be able to recognize anyone else in particular just because of the pixelation of the image, and, they have defining characteristics, Matt and Aaron.
Please contact them and present my challenge. I'll come at my expense and debate them for free. I don't want any money. I'll come. I'll pay my way there, take them all on. Just let me speak on creation, and I'll say.
Well, on the subject of Kent and people who don't debate him, again, I've got no personal interest in debating Kent Hovind. I don't give a shit. I'm not a debater. It's not something I want to deal with. If I wanted to fucking argue, I'd just socialize. Because inevitably someone's going to want to fucking argue somewhere. I just go back to Facebook groups, go hang out in the local geek community again, and just wait for somebody to start some shit. But Kent's obsessed with this idea of debating being everything, so it's been well known for months that I've got an open offer if he wants to. I have a fee. I have my own rules. If he wants to accept those terms, his people can get in touch with me. I've made it very clear how to get in touch with me. But they don't seem to do that. So the only conclusion I can draw is, as Kent puts it, fucking coward. But, it's okay when Kent does it. But if I do it, you can stay in the tip guy. Please.
Take any questions they've got, all of them, okay? And then pay my own way back. Don't want anything from them. One guy called me the Hulk Hovind of creationists. Who was that? Do you remember that? That was you?
Hulk Hogan, you fucking moron. One could convert that over to Hulk Hovind to make a funny pet name, but it's not the Incredible Hulk, you idiot. I don't expect you to know wrestling staples from the 80s and early 90s, but fuck, man. At least consult with people.
I like what John Wayne said. The reason there's so many stupid people is because it's illegal to kill them. I like that. Okay, so recently viewed, Kent Hovind, an atheist's worst nightmare.
Hang on.
Rachel.
I wanna double check something. Just wanna double check. Yeah. So Kent bitches about pseudonyms, but he uses this John Wayne line right here and references him. A reminder that John Wayne's name, legal name, was Marion Robert Morrison. Marion. But can't complain. Y'all don't use your real names. John Wayne didn't use his real name.
Stupid people is because it's illegal to kill them. I like that. Okay, so recently viewed, Kent Hovind, an atheist's worst nightmare. Rachel Oates. I'll take you on, Rachel, anytime, okay?
I'll debate everybody, Hovind. Debate me, bro, debate me.
So tomorrow, they have a Reason rally. Right, Reason nothing. In, where's that at? Phoenix, Arizona. Too late to go to that one. I would have come if I'd found out earlier. I don't follow what you guys do. Okay, sorry, just for tonight.
Don't worry, Kent. They don't follow what you do either.
Then they have one coming up March.
But you notice they're going places. They're being invited to things. They have social groups of people who willingly go to these events. They aren't held captive there to watch these diatribes like your little cult members there are.
30th, an online event. Invite me to come on to be one of the speakers. I'll take you all on your online event at the American Ethical Union. Right. How do you know what ethics are? If evolution is true, how do you determine ethics?
Appeal to fuck, I had the word and I lost it. Appeal to morality, that was it. I don't understand how a social species could develop morality. Ergo, you need Magic God, who's an immoral fuckwit.
Let's see, March 14th, coming up here, Hilton, Orlando, in Altamont Springs. I'll come for that one and debate all of you same time. Call me, Seth, have me come in as a scheduled speaker. Let me speak 20 minutes or 30 minutes on creation and the stupidity of evolution, and then I'll take questions from the audience.
Everyone would get up and leave, Kent. You're worthless. You're boring. You are seriously the least interesting speaker I've ever seen. And I've seen some real snoozers in my life.
How's that? Notice the smile, okay? Then we have one coming up in
Yes, Hovind plays the internet tough guy. Film at 11.
Alexandria, Virginia. I'll drive over there to Alexandria, Virginia. The Bible says in 2 Thessalonians, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the truth that they might be saved. For this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Seth, I'm telling you publicly, and all of your atheist followers, you are deluded.
Yes, Kent, you think that. But your text there seems to be implying, nope, it's saying outright that the deity themselves is causing the delusion. Ergo, the deity's actions are the reason for these people's disbelief. So you've just acknowledged that it's not an active choice by any of us, but is something that the deity themselves is making happen. You understand how fucked up that is, Kent? Also, if our opinion was caused by this deity and we were able to somehow change it, that would mean we were somehow more powerful than the effects of the deity. Which is not possible because you yourself have expressed repeatedly that there is no limited concept of God. It doesn't take much thought to realize the problems with all of this stuff, all these little things you bring up. And yet somehow Mr. 200 IQ doesn't notice this. Hmm.
You have believed a lie. There is no evidence for evolution, none. Okay? Here we go. Delusion. What is that? A fixed belief that is not amenable to change in light of conflicting evidence. You guys see all the evidence that cows produce cows and chickens produce chickens and nothing else. And all the farmers in the world will tell you that's what happens. And you refuse to see the evidence. You believe cows and chickens are related to a carrot and a potato. It is distinct from a belief based on false.
Can you ever compare life forms where the thing you're comparing it to isn't the reproductive body of some kind of plant? Just seriously. The one time you have done it halfway reasonably is when pine trees and elephants came up during the the R&R discussion. That's it. Every other time, it's always been potato, strawberry, carrot. God, I can't.
False or incomplete information, confabulation, dogma, illusion, hallucination, or some other misleading effects of perception. You guys are deluded. You've been deluded. Cleveland Clinic. Delusional disorder is a type of mental health condition in which a person can't tell what's real from what's imagined. You imagine the earth is billions of years old. You imagine an amoeba can turn to a whale over.
Can't you decry that when people say that you talk about one animal itself or one creature turning into another, yet by any basic understanding of the English language, you just said exactly that. We're going to let it play a tiny bit. Pop back.
Billions of years. That's all imagination. What's real from what's imagined.
Let's study this carefully now. And I know English isn't the first language of some of y'all out there, but your English is still infinitely better than Hovind's, because I know y'all can, in whatever fashion it is, diagram this sentence mentally.
You imagine the earth is billions of years old. You imagine an amoeba can turn to a whale over billions of years. That's all.
You imagine an amoeba can turn into a whale over billions of years. So we are describing one creature that would be identified as an amoeba, existing for billions of years and somehow metamorphosizing into a whale, is what Kent is describing. Not only is this, of course, in no way, shape, or form anything related to evolution, this is exactly the kinds of bullshittery that he is called out on, yet denies repeatedly having said. Yet his exact statement is as I described. So, you gonna admit you're lying, Kent? Isn't that one of them there sins you're supposed to not like? One of those there commandments that aren't the real ones, and also there's like 700 of them and not 10 that you're supposed to follow? No, you won't admit that? Or it's okay because you're lying for Jesus. I forgot, that's a thing too.
All imagination. There are many types of delusion,
Yes, imagination, like your God.
including persecutory, jealous, grandiose types, etc. Okay? What is a delusional disorder? A type of psychotic disorder. Its main symptom is the presence of one or more delusions. You guys got a bunch of delusions in your atheist rallies, a bunch of them. A delusion is an unshakable.
I just want to take a moment to shout out Nap and Retro Gaming here. Been a buddy of mine for over 10 years now. Part of my little cluster of people, along with Prince Watercress. If you like just random old classic games, just raw footage of them, just I know some of y'all have got to hit his channel up. He has an archive of just the most random stuff and some perfectly normal stuff. And it's cool to just see what's out there. Who knows? You might find a crazy old game for a computer you've never heard of from the 80s that might be your next favorite obsession for the next 3 months. Happened to me one time.
Belief in something that's untrue. The belief isn't a part of the person's culture or subculture, and almost everyone else knows this belief is false. I think everybody in the world knows there has to be a creator for this world. But
Um, no, but if we grant that based on the prominent prevalence of religious constructs in human societies, all right, Kent, now to figure out which one. And that's if the theology even has a creator concept, because a lot of them have events that are the origin, but they aren't explicitly created. There's not an intent there. It's just something that happened, kind of like the actual universe.
you guys, you deny that. You don't believe it. Let's see. People with delusional disorder often experience non-bizarre delusions. Non-bizarre delusions involve situations that could possibly occur in real life, such as being followed, deceived, or loved at a distance. These delusions usually involve the misinterpretation or perceptions of experiences. In reality, these situations are either untrue or highly exaggerated. What are the signs and symptoms of delusion disorder? Another characteristic of the condition.
Yes, said Kettle, but Kent would just respond, it's still the same kind. It's a bug kind. Harwin. It's just a baby form.
Is that the person often lacks self-awareness that their delusions are problematic. You're deluded and don't even know it, Seth, and all you atheists, all of you. They're unable to accept that their delusions are irrational or inaccurate, even if they recognize that other people would describe their delusions this way. Okay? I'll describe them that way. It's delusional. Let's see. Andrews emphasizes the importance of scientific evidence and reason in his work. No, you don't, Seth. Where's the scientific evidence for any animal producing a baby that...
God damn it. You're right. I did the mute thing again. I had said a second ago, emphasis on scientific evidence, like the lack of evidence you have for your stuff, Kent, for the Bible, for all the stories in it, all the what else? All the miracles, all the supernatural everything. Yeah. Yeah, Kent, you don't have that evidence.
That was anything other than its kind. 20 times in the first 7 chapters of the Bible, God said the animals and plants would bring forth after their kind. Would you please show me the best illustration you know of where that did not happen? I bet we could show you trillions of examples where it did happen.
Yeah, remember, there's a delay, so when you guys let me know I'm muted, I'll have been muted for a moment. As soon as I see it, I am gonna unmute, and then y'all have to wait for that to catch up. This stream is a disaster, but I knew it might be. I'm fucking tired today. Let's keep going.
Did you know one of our sheep on the North 40 had a baby yesterday? I was up there a couple hours later, picked it up and held it. Guess what? Those sheep are up there running around loose with the donkeys and with the cows and with the raccoons and the squirrels. Turned out to be a sheep, the baby did. I don't know who their daddy was, but I bet it was one of them rams. See? You're delusional to believe anything other than that. Sheep produce sheep. There are no exceptions. Okay.
You know, Kent, every time you say that, you're just not actually even addressing what evolution actually is in any way, shape, or form. Ignoring law of monophyly, but just the fact that you're talking about that the evolutionary theory works on populations over generations through cases of isolation, through selection pressure. It's not an instant change thing between individual generations. It's over time. Again, you decry time, but just saying nuh-uh. Words doesn't make reality any less real, Kent.
He encourages people to base their beliefs on science. No, you don't, Seth. Science is what we can observe, study, test, and demonstrate. We observe cows produce cows, dogs produce dogs. That we observe. Dogs produce dogs. There are no exceptions. Science would tell you evolution is not true. You don't base your belief on science. You would know what science was if it kicked you. Reason? It's not reasonable to believe you're related to a
Kent, you wouldn't know what science is if it kicked you.
Potato, Seth. Evidence? Where's the evidence for evolution? I will come, speak at your conference, and say evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the history of humanity. Prove me wrong. All of you, get the whole room full of people. Prove Hovind wrong. Everybody out there, call these guys.
You've been proven wrong every single time you've ever discussed any of this with anybody in your entire life. You are nothing but wrong, Kent.
I say, hey, have Hovind come speak at one of your dumb, unreasonable rallies, okay? Supernatural explanation, that's all you've got. You want life to come from non-living material? That's a supernatural religion. Show me, explain how that happened.
Yes, Birius, very hard. Again, I would love to describe details on some of the stuff I've done, but that would somewhat betray my employment, and I'd rather not do that to myself, given the kinds of idiots that follow Hovind and get mad that people dare, call him out on his bullshit. Which again, you see him behaving like this, and you don't see why we do the videos we do. It's a reaction to his stuff. Again, if he didn't act like this, no one would do videos on him. There wouldn't be anything to really talk about. But yeah, I definitely put in my fair share today, as did my team. Good job. I was still finishing stuff at like 1 p.m., but that was just the tedious stuff. Everyone else got the bulk of it done. I work with good people.
This perspective aligns with his broader advocacy for atheism and critical thinking. Seth, you don't know what critical thinking is. You're not willing to think about your own atheism. You've been deluded, and I'll debate you any day, twice a day. Call Joseph, 855 Big Dino, extension 4. Schedule it. I think you're all cowards, okay?
So Kent, right here, and sorry I had a hot mic while I was sipping that soda. I almost did the thing where I was muted again. Okay, so Kent, this right here, you call out, oh, I'll debate you anytime, then you set it up. You dumbass. What is this thing? And I know what the answer is, but I just gotta call it out. What is this thing with you, Kent? Where everyone has to reach out to you. You will never be proactive to do any of the debating, to ever set any of it up. That's what I mean, to do the grunt work to make it happen. Never. Because you want to make it seem like you're in demand, that people want to take you on. When in reality, it's the other way around. You want to take on anyone who will give you the time of day. The only coward here is you. Because you talk big, but you don't do shit. Okay? Okay? You're not fooling anybody. Except your little cult followers, all the Hovindites who think you're somehow a good person. Think you're smart. Think you're skilled in some way, and you're not. You just somehow managed to fail upwards with this stupid ass grift you got. Until you fucked up and spent 9 years in prison. And remember, no amount of bitching about it will get those years back.
Andrews has engaged in discussions about the conflict between creationism and evolution. Seth, you need to put the ism on evolution. It's creation and evolution-ism. You know, like
No, it's not, Kent. So again, just trying to reverse things doesn't mean shit.
communism, Nazism.
Ah, yes, I gotta add the isms in there because the ism makes everything bad. You know, like you accept one of many, many options with theism. Got you there.
Often pointing out the lack of scientific support for creationist views.
I mean, honestly, how childish is that line of thinking as well? That if words happen to share the same, trailing, what the fuck do you call the part of it? I know y'all know what it is. Sorry, I had the on there. Suffix is the word I was looking for. Share the same suffix. They're obviously all related. And because he's built some association with a few evil ones that are isms, all the isms are bad. So creation can't have the ism on it, even though it is creationism, because it's a belief rather than evolution, which is not a belief. You see how it keeps going back to the same key points of you lying like a motherfucker, Kent?
Where's the scientific support for atheist views? So you guys won't admit it. You have a religion. I admit I believe God did it. I couldn't prove it. I believe it. I believe all the evidence points that way.
And that's the problem, Kent, is that no, your evidence doesn't have anything. And if the evidence did point that way, you could prove it in a colloquial sense. Not that science deals with proof. Proof only exists in math, but in a colloquial construct. To much the same way concepts such as evolution, the round earth, etc. have been proven to me. In enough that I have no reason to reject these ideas. As opposed to all your theistic gobbledygook, which disagrees with all the other theistic gobbledygook I've heard, and none of it is concordant with reality in any way, shape, or form. And the obvious grasping at straws that you do to try to defend these ideas doesn't make it look any better. It should be self-evident, and it's not. Otherwise, no one could come up with any other conclusion. If it's so factual, so well known, and so exactly the way y'all describe it as, when it's not.
But some things just cannot be proven scientifically. No observation. Let's see. The overwhelming evidence supporting evolution. Well, Seth, where's this overwhelming evidence supporting evolution? I'd like to challenge you. You schedule me to come speak at any one of your atheist rallies.
Oh, yeah, you do all the work. I'm Hovind. I don't do any work. Why don't you contact them and be like, hey, would you have me as a speaker? And watch as they laugh and hang up on you. And, Seth reading the phone book would be pretty freaking amazing. Thank you for the super chat, Laura.
In the next year. And you go first, give the best single evidence you know of for evolution. I will then counter it. Then you get up and give the next one. Equal time for each side, not each person. If there's 20 against me, each side gets equal time. No cursing or swearing, if you guys can do that. And equal time and no interrupting. If you get 7 minutes or 12 minutes.
You know, Kent, I've got a lot of stipulations on your end, and I wonder if you can hold to those. You always want to call out people for using words you don't like. Two can play at that game.
Minutes, whatever you want, I get the same amount of time. Fair enough? Do it on your channel, my channel, neutral channel. Come on, guys. Overwhelming evidence supporting evolution. You guys say this all the time, but you don't ever show any. Where is it? Just imagine the Earth is billions of years old. Just imagine. It's a SpongeBob religion. That's all you've.
Oh, yes. Once again, let's put this in, just let's look at this. That this is what a preacher is doing. Angrily yelling into a camera on a Wednesday night with this captive audience there who hears this same crap day in, day out, nonstop. It's always just this constant rambling on about evolution being so bad and so horrible, as if there's not a billion other things going on in the world that are a little more important to be concerned with. Who has a SpongeBob animated image just going because he's aware of SpongeBob for some stupid reason. I guess the grandkids before it when he was still able to actually see them. Which is funny then that they'd be allowed to watch Nickelodeon, but that's besides the point. Um, just you take a step back and look at it, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Just imagine the layers of the Earth are different ages. I keep asking you guys, if the layers are different ages, where are they coming from? Every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age. Whether 6,000 or 6 trillion or whatever you want to get.
Oh, his stupid fucking in the same age, Kent. You're a fucking moron. Get help.
Give it, it's the same age. Just imagine, you're related to a sponge, like me. There you are, humans, and there we are, the sponge. See, here's the proof. They drew lines on paper connecting us.
There's a God that created everything, and there was a Jesus who did some sacrifice himself to himself for our sins. And see, here's the proof: the Bible. That's just lines on paper. Once again, Kent, the lines on paper you did a cry on some of these charts that you just pick particular ones too, but that's neither here nor there. Are indicative of the evidence. They're a concise representation of myriads of nested data that point to the conclusion, as opposed to some book says a thing. I've got books that say things too, Kent. So you want to go that route? We got more books that are better that say things. But here's the fun thing. You can go and check that evidence. You can see evidence. You can see the data from the research. You can see specimens. I hadn't seen no Jesus. But the Red Sea and there's the wheels down there. I ain't seen that shit, and from what I've heard, that's not what's actually down there. Oh, Ron Wyatt found Jesus' tomb. Did he though? People who he was with say he didn't find shit. Who am I gonna believe? The scientists who their aggregate research has revolutionized the way our species lives, put us in just the incredible comfort that we have currently, or known liars? And one musty old book that says a thing that doesn't match reality at all. Yeah, thought so.
That's proof, all right. It's all in the science books. Why don't you believe it, Kent Hovind? You are related to sponges. There we are. Sponges slowly turn to biology teacher. You're right. You got a line on paper, all right. Got to be true. You guys are retarded, okay?
Oh, there we go. There we go. And I know I'll use the term sometimes. Again, I try to avoid it where possible, but there goes Kent dropping the R bomb. where we're supposed to treat this guy with respect. We're supposed to give him a dignity and a level of honor for being old and being a pastor. The only person retarded in this is you, Kent. To use the word from its proper origins, you are clearly mentally inhibited. Not in a disabled way. Oh, no, 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 no. You have to consciously choose to be that thick headed to not learn and accept actual fucking reality. Deal with it, fuckwit.
God told Isaiah, now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not. The seers are the prophets in the Old Testament who would say, here's what's going to happen. They say, quit talking like that. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
Rosina with the $4.99 super chat. I'd be glad to debate Kent about the necessity for and quirks of full F sync. I'll be honest, I had to look that up. That's what that little delay was. Nice. Very nice. Audience, if you don't know, look it up yourself. You'll piece it together and laugh.
Prophesy deceits. Tell us what we want to hear. Yeah, we want to hear we're related to a monkey, because that way there's no moral standard to live up to, is there? That way adultery's okay. Here's the typical atheist when Kent speaks. Nah, I don't want to hear it. Okay. I'm challenging all the atheists.
No, I just don't want to hear your stupid prayers because I think people's magical. I'm going to be quite honest. The sound, the cadence, the nature of your typical prayer in the typical American Christian prayer, I can't fucking stand it by its very nature. It just sounds so ridiculous. That's why I mute that shit. It's just, it's an equivalent, I would say, of nails on a chalkboard, but it's not. Because one, I actually kind of like that screeching. But two, it's more a matter of it's like when you hear an accent that you just can't stand. It's like that. And you just don't want to hear it. It's that exact thing. The particular way that stuff is delivered is just, and just the verbiage is just, ugh. But that's the only time I really want to plug my ears and be like, Kent. Because hearing you, try to do some magic incantation is just that pathetic. Otherwise, I'm here to say, and I just laugh. Because that stuff's pathetic in a different way.
Yes, in the world. I'll come to any of your conferences this year at my own expense. I don't want a dime from you, and I want to speak and show how dumb your religion is. Okay, fair enough? Okay. The Bible says, the word of the Lord came to me saying in the book of Ezekiel, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not. They have ears to hear and hear not. They're a rebellious house. Let's see, you got a conference coming up March 14th to 16th in Orlando. I'll go to that one. I don't want to go show up and just sit in the crowd. Okay, I want to get up and speak and show you guys how dumb you're. I'll take you all on. I'm not afraid.
Ooh, I've got a great idea. Go through the effort to set up a conference here in Memphis. Plan everything out. If you know what I mean. Make sure it happens at the North Hollywood dump. Just look up North Hollywood dump, Memphis. Invite him. All kinds of people are going to be coming. And then when he gets here and goes to it, just nothing. Nothing at all. Well, what happened? Where's everybody? That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. Especially the fact that then he'd just be stuck in North Memphis. Of course, the airport's just a straight shot south from there, but it's not highway unless you went the 4240 loop. I don't know. It's just a funny thought because like that's so a thing about Memphis is that I-40 deviates around the northern part of the city. It has to do with Overton Park, and it's a fascinating story. We're one of the few spots, if maybe the only spot, where the original interstate plan was explicitly deviated because the city, we were like, yeah, you're not going to go through Overton Park. You're just not. Um, as a side effect of that and the way the Wolf River goes, that whole area is mostly just unkempt forest and watershed. So you go through I-40 through most of Memphis, and it's like there's nothing around. If you didn't know where you were, you would think you were just nowhere. And I just find the thought of them being stuck out there kind of hilarious. You know, hit up Google Street View and look around at I-40 up there, and you'll see. Anyway, let's continue.
Afraid of any of you. Hundreds of humanists, atheists, agnostics, freethinkers, and idiots will attend the Free Thoughtless Florida Conference.
Oh, and yet another reason to just be nice as anything to this poor old man who's just trying to teach the Bible. He does all this stuff where he reads these things and then, just comes up with the cutest pet names of calling people idiots. Yep, really, really nice person there.
Bring me on. American Atheist National Convention. Whoa, that's in Minneapolis. I'll go up there. Debate you all right there. Where's this one? Canada. I'll go up there. I got a passport. Okay. Oh, look at.
I'll go everywhere. I'll go everywhere. But I won't go of my own volition. Someone's got to invite me. They got to call and plan this out. And I'll debate anybody at all, but they've got to contact me and plan it out. Do you actually do anything, Kent? Do you even wipe your own ass? Or do you have someone at DAL whose job that is? Or ever since Sandra left, are you just letting it be what it is? I don't want to know. I mean, do you even feed yourself? Do you do anything for yourself? Are you just pantomiming operating the computer and it's really somebody else doing things through a remote desktop session? That's what it seems like at this stage.
Look at this top left corner. Shameless sexuality. Life after purity culture. That's what it's all about. You don't like the idea of thou shalt not commit adultery. You don't like that idea, do you? Yeah.
Kent, depending on interpretations, most people's forms of intimacy and stuff certainly wouldn't qualify as adultery. They just be something you don't like because that's your own choice from the guy who's been married 4 times. That's fucking rich. Married in quotes. But yeah, he always has to look at it and be like, oh, that's why you do this stuff. Kent, I don't even have the energy to deal with it with you. To go over how fucking stupid the idea of, oh, the people who reject religion, they just want to do bad things. Y'all just want to sin. When, if you wanted to to do whatever magical crimes, that you wanted and get away with it scot-free, you would be a Christian. You would be religious. Example A, Kent Hovind. But B, again, this idea of just vilifying what individuals do in the privacy of their own lives. Something that doesn't matter at all to you, is none of your business. It is disgusting how obsessed you right-wing religious nut jobs are with other people's bedroom activities. But you call us the perverts. All y'all think about is, there's a Boondocks quote for it. Granddad talks to Yui and says something along the lines of, all I ever hear from you is blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress. That's all I ever hear from the fucking right wing. Nothing about the actual issues, all made up shit. All shit that doesn't matter, but they've got to focus on. Because we're making America better by ruining everything. And then, I get called ungrateful. I get called unpatriotic. When I just think that people should actually be able to comfortably live in the country that they were, that they either were born into or chose to immigrate to. That maybe being an American should come with the idea of actually having an opportunity to succeed and not being fucked over. But, that's too radical of a thought. Fucking idiots.
A conference for the survivors of purity culture. Seth, you were raised in fundamental churches. You claimed you believed the Bible at one time. What happened? It wasn't science that drew you away from Christianity. Was it some kind of sexual perversion? I don't know. Seattle, Washington. Let's see, this is May 23rd. I'll go up there, probably fly for that one. Bring me in. I'll be a guest speaker and take you all on at the same time. Just little old me by myself.
Yeah, except for your particular stipulations and your particular process of things, because your demands are set specifically so that you can't reasonably be countered on anything you say without being able to play one of those cards. It's not one topic at a time. You're trying to monopolize the conversation. Fucking baby.
Then we got one in Wichita Oasis in Kansas.
I mean, that's one of the requirements for me if he was to come to me to choose to debate, which he never will because he's chicken, would be that it would be an open discussion. His equal time can go right the fuck out the window.
June 1st, I'll go to that one. Let's see. You guys, shameless sexuality. You guys are perverts. What the problem is?
There we go. Knew he'd call it. Yep, the guy who talks about whale penises has alleged to have searched animal videos of a certain nature on his computer, and seems to be really obsessed with other YouTubers' intimacy preferences. Yep. He's not the pervert. We are.
I debated a guy named Nicholas Power in Florida, University of Central Florida. After losing the debate badly, he wrote an article of why he lost the debate. Because the crowd was too stupid to understand science. Okay, Nicholas? Nick Power. Somebody contact him. We'll do it again, Nick. In front of your university. Bring me down. I'll take you out. TheThinkingAtheist.com.
No, because Kent is illiterate, so he'd never look at the following square that says, for survivors of purity culture, and wonder what it meant. He would never think that. He can't read that far, and he can't think that far.
Really? Assume nothing. Right. You guys don't do that at all. Question everything. You won't do that. You won't question. Let me come in and raise some questions for you atheists. You want to question everything? Okay. I'm the guy to do it.
And when the answers are provided and thoroughly smash every pathetic concept you present, are you going to be like, huh, okay, I was wrong? Or are you just going to go, nuh-uh? That happened to me today. I was discussing something with a coworker, and what I was concerned about with it, I don't want to go into details, but their response weren't quite jiving. And at that point, I realized, I've got my laptop out. I can look this up again. And it was some detail regarding, okay, yeah, let's say what it was. It was a detail regarding the weird phenomenon in American commercials, advertisings for medicine, which is a foreign concept to the rest of the world, where for some reason with prescription medicines, they would say all the side effects, but they don't do it with over the counter. And I was under the impression that this was due to some sort of requirement specifically applying to the prescription medicines rather than the over the counter. when it turns out, and for some reason this is the first time this information had come up in a search, so I guess I phrased the queries correctly. Turns out back in 85 or so, they started the requirement for the side effects to be stated, but in 97 they loosened the requirements. And so a lot of over-the-counter drugs, they didn't bother with it, but with the prescription stuff, they did. So they, maintained to the law more strictly out of choice. But apparently, I had noticed this change, and it clicked in my head that, oh, now all of a sudden the prescription medicines are, um, saying the side effects when the other stuff isn't. Like, it didn't click with me what had actually changed. So it was like an inverse correlation. What I thought had happened was actually the complete opposite. Instead of one thing being forced to say stuff, the other stopped, which made the first one saying stuff more obvious. And once I saw that, I was like, holy fuck, I've been rallying against this for like 15 plus years. And I found out my understanding of it was wrong. I was wrong. I had it bass backwards. And that's absolutely fine. I pointed out this is a flaw I have to where I can be wrong on some stuff and be very passionately wrong. But once I find out that I am incorrect, once criteria have satisfied to prove that, yes, I was wrong about this, I immediately correct my understanding. I accept this new information and continue forward, now knowing that my understanding of the world is slightly more accurate than it was before. Such a silly thing, but I had been rallying against it for so long it had become kind of a passion-hate thing. That's impossible for Kent to experience. That's an impossible thing for him to do. But he wants to project the idea that he's the open-minded one and that we're the closed-minded, the typical reversal. It'd be funny if it wasn't so pathetic.
Start thinking. I wish you would. You can't, though. You've been deceived. You've been deluded. God sent you strong delusion because you did not want to believe. The Thinking Atheist. Yeah. Hosted by Christian broadcaster Seth, former Christian broadcaster Seth Andrews. TTA, The Thinking Atheist, is a resource for atheist content, community, and a constant reminder to pursue a personal relationship with reality. No, it's not. Seth, listen carefully.
Not even noticing the parroting of the it's not a religion, it's a relationship concept that some people apply to Christianity to try to make it seem less ridiculous. Because, having imaginary friends isn't silly at all.
I'm calling you a liar. You're not a thinking atheist. You're a deluded atheist. And I'll take all you guys on, same time. Okay, that's enough for tonight, brother.
I'm Ken Hovind, and I love taking guys on all the time. Hovind likes guys.
Are there any questions or comments? There we go. Oh, disappeared too fast. Couldn't read it. Let's see. Have you ever read the book of Enoch, Jubilee, Maccabees, and others? If so, what are your takeaway? I'm sorry, I have not. I have them all right here. I have a busy life, okay? There are 3 books of Enoch I got.
I'm too busy to read this stuff, even though I spend my entire life obsessed with the Bible and theology. I'm too busy trying to make slides so I can bitch about atheists on the internet. Hovind.
I got them all right here. I got them by my bed to read. It's too busy around here. So no, I'm sorry. I would go to avpublications.com. They've got articles on those books, okay? Did you know wrestling is God's favorite sport? I know Jacob wrestled with an angel. I think it was Jacob. One of the guys did. I don't know. I wrestled in high school until it broke my rib with a figure 4. And
yeah, that's another thing. It's one thing to have imaginary friends, but it's another thing to have imaginary enemies. Yeah, Cassius, that's what I was thinking. He's a fucking pastor and he hasn't read Enoch. Maybe he thought it was Book of Eunuch and he didn't want to read about people getting their everything chopped off.
Had to get out. So, let's see. I quoted a whole section about you in my book, which is now available on Amazon, Exploring Origins, Science, Faith, Pursuit of Truth. You've been a great inspiration to me. Well, thank you, Kevin.
Well, that book's a fucking lie.
Appreciate it. Spread it around. Hope you get lots of people to look at that. Okay, let's see. Ice Prowler.
No need to be sorry.
If you come to Minnesota, we would like to meet you. Okay, well, anybody can come. I'll let you know where I'm going. I used to travel a lot. We published my schedule. People came all the time.
Yeah, Kent. And what'd you need to travel? Money. How'd you get that money?
I don't get to, I can reach more sitting right here, Joseph, can't I, than traveling? Yep. Yep. All right, any more? Come on, you atheists, where are you? Musk wants a universal financial system. Coming September, sacrifices the third temple start. I agree. Nilo, it's here. I've been talking about this for, what, 15 years now? About the
Yeah, ignoring your biblical bullshit. Recall that your favorite presidential felon, Trumpy boy, is buddies with Musk in a very close way, who Musk is also a fucking Nazi. There was something else I was going to say, but I'm still holding back on that. Yeah. Yeah, pick the battles there, buddy. Is Musk on good on your side or not? Because it looks bad on Trumpy boy.
end time. Get my video series.
Not that anything doesn't look bad on Trump, but I mean, you think they'd at least be self-aware to realize maybe we shouldn't associate with an actual fucking Nazi, especially if we want to claim to be the good guys.
What on earth is about to happen, for heaven's sake? Let's see this one. Whoa. What on earth is about to happen? What the Bible teaches about the future from the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation. Yep.
Also, fuck your temples. I would pay to pave all that shit and put up a goddamn Wendy's just to piss y'all off. And I'm not one for destroying historical sites. I am very much against that. But if it would just piss y'all right the fuck off, I'd do it. If I had the kind of money Musk has.
Get my chart behind me. I got the big one. The little ones are $10. All the factoids on here about what's going to happen from Daniel and Revelation, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It's coming like a freight train. We're headed for a disaster. And I'm a little nervous about all this.
I think I can speak properly that the entirety of the audience here, and of course myself, most definitely hate Nazis. In fact, there is very little in the world I hate more than a Nazi.
One world government, one world currency. Coming. Anyway, thank you.
Oh yes, it's so horrible. Us coming together as a species, as a planet. Wonder what these fuckers are going to do when we finally start colonizing other worlds. Hopefully religion will be dead by then, but my god. I can only imagine how these cults are going to deviate and evolve as we become an interplanetary species. Then again, we're so fucked up, maybe we shouldn't be that fortunate, but hopefully in the end, logic and reason will win out.
Thank you. Okay, any others? Soldier of the Lord, thinking atheist is an oxymoron. Good one. I like it. Like jumbo shrimp, like military intelligence.
Oh yes, military intelligence, anti-military jokes from the same guy who constantly says, "My daddy was a Marine in World War II, only survivor his platoon," because the fucker was stuck in bed sick.
Okay, thank you so much. See you tomorrow night. Open mic tomorrow and Friday. All you atheists, bring it on. Bunch of people coming to visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Come down and see this place. It's incredible. You'll love it. See you tomorrow. Bye.
And again, the little chicken noises, much more maturity from a 72-year-old pastor. What a fucking clown. Alright, so that was that. Sorry it wasn't the best. I am very tired, honestly. And I am extremely just annoyed by a great many things. Cassius, you might as well let me know in Discord if you get around to it. Oh wow, it's almost 8, so I've got a little while before firing up Guild Wars, so I can do the dailies, then go to sleep, and then take care of my Friday. There is one thing I wanted to address, and again, I greatly appreciate everyone's super chats, but I wanted to address these two. $10 from this Don Wanderley, and to a lesser extent, but still going. This Killed Demora, $4.99. I didn't shout them out during the stream. Maybe I should have. Maybe I shouldn't have. But this coming right after the typical Hovindite popping in, just being their usual prick self. Probably one of a set of people who shall remain nameless. Um, you know, it made me be cautious because I didn't want to just intentionally, shout out this, that, the other because they're not names I recognize, sadly. And that could just be my garbage memory. So if these were legitimate to some way, I do greatly apologize for not being a little more reactive to them. But I am a matter of just being like concerned of like, am I going to play into some kind of trolling here, there, everywhere? You get a little paranoid on those kinds of things. And you're like, well, Chris, it's freaking super chats. What could the harm be? And it's like, a way of building up rapport, then chargebacks being filed on this stuff, and that's between Google, YouTube, and the them. So the odds are extremely minimal if it was anything, but you get tired after years upon years of dealing with dumbasses who just want to cause shit to where you get a little paranoid about stuff. So I apologize. Hopefully there's nothing crazy. You don't know how to read things sometimes. I'm getting into uncharted territory here because I'm getting to be more how am I trying to say? Getting more into the weeds of this kind of stuff and picking up those people who just do the typical web stalk affair. Oh, but Chris, you do that to Hovind, and it's like I just react to his videos. That's all it boils down to. I don't interact with him. I guess we're gonna have a little after show here. That's the thing I don't get about all the detractors that people like me, AJ, and the like build up. At least insofar as the way I do things. I don't go onto Kent's channels and leave comments. Very rarely did I ever do that. I might pop up in a chat from time to time and try to just be, relatively neutral in it. I keep things in my own little sphere. But others, and granted, yes, these are, open platforms. But the fact that people choose to go out of their way to look up Kent Hovind to see my video, and instead of being like, oh, this person probably doesn't like him, I'm just going to go on to interact the way they do, which still helps the video, so it really doesn't matter. But just that idea that they don't think for a minute, maybe I should just let this be. That they focus on this stuff and then will repeatedly continue to come at somebody over a period of time till they get bored. The typical troll pattern. It's silly. And, I expect that kind of stuff in adolescence, but not reasonable adults. Maybe I just expect too much from people. I don't know. And again, all it is just mildly annoying. But on top of, having an actual work day, on top of all the other stuff that does go on, all the other things I've got going on, all the other projects, when you try to do this stuff, just have a little fun, and you're sitting there waiting for the next clone of He Who Shall Not Be Named, troll account to come by, or some other person to get all pissy. It's just not fun, you know? We're here to have fun. If you don't like it, toodle on. You don't see me in your chat being an asshole. I throw some snark sometimes if I am in something, but that's as far as it goes. I don't know. Behaviors of people never really made sense to me. But again, when we've got where was that troll ass crap earlier? When you get shit like no, not this guy. Not this guy. Where was it? When you get a few names you don't recognize, and then where did they go, or did bear with me a moment, I just want to try to find the thing. Yeah, it's just little stuff like this where it's just like, even if you don't intend to come off the wrong way, you do. Yeah, you gotta watch this stuff. And it seems like between those first couple of comments that account had made, so it was that same account, versus that it was the same tactic of like Lupin did with his 12 Monkeys account. Oops, I said the name. Oh well. Being like, yeah, Hovind Shucks, yeah, and then just starting some shit. It's like, oh right, you got me for a second, interacting, because I tend to, if I see a positive comment, I'm just going to react to it. Um, I guess this idea that when I explicitly explain exactly why I do things like this, to be told basically, or an attempted gaslight troll of like, no, you do it because you this reason, that reason. It's like, no, I just have fun providing entertainment for people. That's it. This little shtick worked. Other content didn't work. Not the right type of content for the right type of audience, but this, it worked out. If someone can't understand that, that's not my problem. So they can go on back to their stuff and do whatever. And just ignore my existence, ignore AJ's existence, ignore everything. But no, they've always got to turn everything into their view of how things should be, how the internet should work, their idea of how people should interact. I just don't get that. I have my spaces for me to do my things. I keep it isolated. That's part of why I left Twitter. It was just too many people who, no matter what you say, want to pop up and just start some shit. It gets old. But, I write a piece on Zadara. If you want to come and leave a comment, sure. And if I choose to react to that comment, to approve it, or choose to reject it, or choose to, as I did with the one, do a video on it, well, that's my business. You came into my space. I'm not going to come into your space and start shit. It's really that simple. Oh no, I had to think out loud through that. Thank you for listening. And double check a few comments, and then we're gonna finish this up. At some point, I may start just some general hangout streams, because you guys sometimes just seem to really enjoy me just talking, and I am so not used to that. Just double checking. Error is human. Yeah, uh, making mistakes is that's a thing we do. So it counts for Wingus and Dingus. Thank you, Aura Master. Think I'm entertaining. I appreciate that. And I really do. I cannot stress how much y'all being here every time where you can in life, because sometimes you're busy working, sometimes you're sleeping, sometimes you just can't watch a stream. It's so awesome. Just so much love. I'm glad I found my people. I cannot stress that enough. People are toxic as fuck. Best thing you do is ignore, block, ignore, repeat. It's not the easiest because they're constantly trying to drag you in and make their problems yours. Yep. I just got to think this stuff out loud, you know. Appreciate your videos on Hovind because I was homeschooled kid who had to listen to his crap growing up. Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, it's Jess. Yeah, you're coming in at the tail end as I'm doing the outro monologue because it's just been a frustrating couple of days between AJ getting, having to deal with bullshit and then that passing off to me because I decided to exist, you know. Here's what it is, though. We're here to have fun. I definitely had fun. Again, I love hanging out with y'all. I'm going to play some Guild Wars, relax, try to make Friday go as smooth as possible. Then comes the weekend. Maybe we'll try some different stuff, maybe a bit of gaming content. I don't know. Because even though I took that week off from 0645 2017, I feel like I need another break. Unless something unhinged happens on his, call-in shows. So we'll find out. But that's going to... the outro log. Yeah, seriously. I mean, this is becoming a standard thing now. Partly because I'm too stupid to know how to end my own streams. I could just click in now, but no, I got to keep on talking. But you're still here. You're here, so I feel like I have to keep talking, which means you stay here. I mean, I'm not saying go, but but yeah, we might start doing more hangout streams. Definitely some more open mic on my end. So if any of y'all wanted to chat, I'm gonna try to make some things happen. We'll just see how it goes. But again, much love. Y'all are awesome. Deviant just is telling you to check them Discord messages, so definitely check them out. I need to get back and saying hey to you, Jess. We were talking for a bit and then just kind of died down, got busy with work, and then bloop. Saw an old Hovind debate, and it was obvious that this stupid religious mindset led us to Trump and where we are today. Thank you, Tyler. Okay, Deviant's going to check that message. Vicious cycle. It is a vicious cycle. And Tyler, oh man, let me see if I can find that comment real quick. I just, chef's kiss. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? So I think it actually didn't show up in my, yeah, it didn't actually show up in my, thing. Well, one of my recent videos, Tyler left a comment that was just awesome, and I pinned it, and it was really cool. So, yeah. Oh, I missed something Deviant had posted. Let me go back on that. Yes, thank you, everyone. I will try my best to have a good night. Let me go back and see what Deviant had said. Oh, right. Deviant says, I have a community here. Don't allow these toxic fools to drag you into their realm. There's a reason Chernobyl's the forbidden zone and only Russians are mad enough to dig down in that ground. Look, I'm not saying I'd go digging, but I want a lot of tiny, spicy rocks that make meters go clickety click, click, click. So, it just depends, but yeah, seriously. The Russian soldiers were fucking stupid. That shows the lack of education, that they didn't know that the red forest south of Chernobyl, the nuclear power plant, as specified, because the city's a couple of kilometers away, not Pripyat, but the city of Chernobyl that the plant was named after, that you don't go digging in the fucking red forest, where a large portion of the material that it was ejected from the reactor landed. And I still can't get over the crazy thought that every single piece of spicy debris that's hanging out in the zone, every bit of it came from Reactor 4. Like, it's obvious, but just to think that that is that fuel, that is that material, slowly breaking down into different isotopes, like good old cesium and the like, which mostly decayed by now, but still are decaying. Such a cool thought to me. But we're getting into a talk about Chernobyl and stuff, and I could fucking talk about Chernobyl all damn day. You know, maybe April 26th we'll do a Chernobyl stream. I don't know. That'd be cool. Don't we all, until that old cancer comes knocking. Hey, the older we get, the less the cancer risk matters. I ain't gonna have time for cancer to develop. I'm 60 years old. See, that's why I want to go to Chernobyl when I'm like 60. That'd be so cool. Because then it wouldn't matter. I'd like, well, let's sign the paperwork. I don't care. Let's do this. Dr. Chernobyl mutated to be resistant to the radiation and cancer. I think so. I think so. But yeah, we're meandering for a bit more. I've got a little while before 9 o'clock. I want to get some stuff in, then get myself to sleep and not stay up late as hell tonight. So yeah, as always, much love. Y'all are awesome. I will catch everyone next time.